Good morning, everyone. So today we start new topic, new repertory, that is BBCR, Boger Boninucens characteristics and repertory. Actually, the proper name of this repertory is Boger Boninucens characteristics, materia medica and repertory. So this was given. The proper name of this repertory, that is BBCR, is Boningusen's characteristics, materia medica and repertory with word index, which is written by Dr. C.M. Boger, that is Dr. Cyrus Maxwell Boger, who was a leading practitioner of United States in early decades of 20th century. So he write down his own index of symptoms, and which is based on uh, the concepts. He followed the concepts of Dr. Boningusen's concept because he liked his concepts, his philosophy. So till the time of Dr. Boger, after Kent's repertory, which was get published, many homeopaths they follow the Kent repertory, and there was availability of plethora of literature and clinical experiences. So perceptive mind of this German physician, he thought that how to make the best from referring all those things which were present before his time. So, in his time, both Boningusen's as well as Kentian school both were popular, and Dr. Boger, he made the study of both schools, both repertories, but he himself he accepted the working way of Dr. Moni Hussain to work out the case. So as he accepted the Moni Hussein's way of working, so he follow also his philosophy, his way of working. He when he was practicing, he observed that many homeopaths who are using Moni Hussein's work have have to be depend on faulty translations of repertory of antisoric remedies, and he started his work of translation of this repertory of antisoric remedies, and it was he started his work in 1900. So when the repertory of antisoric remedy it was get published. Yes, what is the publication year of repertory of antisoric remedies? If I ask this question to third year students, then in within 1 to 2 minutes the reply for my question.
Ma'am, 1832.
Yes, very good. So the repertory of antisoric remedies, which was published in 1832, when Dr. Boger, he go through all the repertories and he find out some faulty translations, and he tried to translate it in proper way. He started his work in 1900. Then while translating this work of repertory of antisoric remedies, he was further convinced that Boningusen's basic principles, its plan and construction of repertory, which is very sound, and his book, his repertory, which is very much comprehensible, as well as practicable. So he liked the plan construction of his repertories, principles of Dr. Boni Hussain, as well as practicability of his repertories which were present before his time. And also he was impressed by construction of repertory of antisodic as well as BTPP. But while going through repertory, he didn't like the sections which are written on aggravation and amelioration, because these sections are, there is too generalization, over generalization we found in those sections, that is modality section or section of aggravation and amelioration. Though Dr. Boni Hussain, he gave more importance to these symptoms, then also he found over generalization in these symptoms, in these sections, and he did not like the arrangement of or construction of these sections in his repertory. So he undertook the major work of rewriting and editing the repertory of antisodic remedies. He started adding aggravations, ameliorations, and concomitant in detailed manner at the end of each chapter. Because in BTPB, when he goes through BTPB, the repertory was constructed well, the construction way of construction is proper, but as Dr. Boni Hussain, he gave importance to complete symptom. He said that each symptom should have location, sensation, modality and concomitants, and as his repertory BTPB, it was constructed according to his principle. There were location, sensation and modalities, they are given separately, but concomitants they are not giving in separate it was not given separately in the repertory, that is the repertory pocket book, but the concomitants they are scattered in all the sections. So while rewriting his work, Boni Hussain's work, that is repertory of antisodic remedies, he started, Dr. Boger, he started adding aggravation, amelioration and concomitants in it in detailed manner at the end of each chapter, so that we can easily find out each symptom as a complete symptom. Then first we discuss about what is the life history of Dr. Boger. So as I told, his full name is Dr. Cyrus Maxwell Boger. So Dr. C.M. Boger, he was MD and was a leading practitioner and prominent homeopathic physician in USA. He was born in Western Pennsylvania, son of Cyrus and Isabella Maxwell Boger. Then he completed his education, elementary education in Public School of Lebanon. Then he completed his graduation in pharmacy from Philadelphia College of Pharmacy, in medicine from in medicine from Hahnemann Medical College of Philadelphia. So in this way, he completed his education. Then after completing his education, he settled in Parkersburg, Van in 1888. During his long practice and career in medical practice and research, Dr. Boger contributed a lot by his writings and successful treatment of incurable cases. So as he was doing his practice, he was doing many new researches, and also he at the same time he contributed his many writings, his successful treatment in incurable patient he share with other homeopaths so that they get inspiration how we get the success with the help of homeopathy. So he share his successful treatment of incurable cases. It is said that patients used to report to him from various parts of USA because of his ability to prescribe right medicine even in incurable cases marked with common symptoms. So, as he was very well known, he was very successful homeopath. The patients they report him from various parts of USA because of his ability of prescribing, of selecting a proper right remedy, and many incurable cases which are marked with common symptoms. In such cases, he gave result. So, from different area, from different parts of USA, the patient approaches him for the treatment. He get married thrice. First marriage, his first daughter died young. Second marriage, 4 sons and 5 daughters. He lost 3 sons and 1 daughter. Then the third marriage with secretary and constant helper, that is Anna M. Boger. He passed away on 2nd September 1935 at the age of 74. He died from food poisoning after eating a tin of home pressured tomatoes. So this was all about his life history, which you already learn in philosophy, organon and philosophy in the previous years. Then which are the contributions of Dr. Boger to the homeopathy? The first contribution, there are many important contributions of Dr. Boger to the homeopathy. Out of that, Boger's synoptic key, Boger-Bonimus characteristics and repertory, the times of remedies and moon phases, Bonimus antisorics, general analysis with card index, Boger's diphtheria, homeopathic therapeutics, studies in homeopathic philosophy of healing, collected work of Boger. The editor was Robert Bannon. So, as he simultaneously with his practice, he was writing many things as a contribution to the homeopathy. So, with the years, it was given the same, all his contributions with years it was given. translations of the original repertory of antisorids, that is systematic alphabetic repertory of homeopathic materia medica, which was completed in 1900. Boning-Hussein's characteristics and repertory 1905. Synoptic key to materia medica 1928. Times of remedies and moon phases in 1906. Then general analysis, studies in philosophy and healing, additions to Kent's repertory, translation of therapeutic pocketbook and card repertory, that is Boger Boning-Hussein's Slips. These all are the contributions of Dr. Boger to the homeopathy. As we know, Dr. Boger, C.M. Boger, was a leading practitioner of United States in early part of 20th century. He was student and follower of Dr. Boning-Hussein. Sorry, because as he liked the principles of Dr. Boning-Hussein, so he became the follower of Dr. Boning-Hussein, and in 1900 he translated a repertory of antisoric remedies. During the process of translation work, he got thoroughly acquainted with Boning-Hussein's basic principles, plan and constructions, comprehensibility and practicability. How his principles are, what are his principles, then how his repertories are constructed, how the repertories which was written by Dr. Boning-Hussein are comprehensible and practicable. So he was well acquainted with all these things, and so he followed his principles. Boning-Hussein's characteristics and repertory was published by Borick and Tafel in 1905 in German language. So in 1905 it was published in German language. Then the second Indian edition, which was published in 1952, and the third edition in 1972. So the BBCR, Boger Boning-Hussein's characteristics and repertory, it was published in 1905 in German language. Second Indian edition, which was published in 1952, and third edition, which was published in 1972. This work is a condensation of all Boning-Hussein's work into a single volume. Why it is called as condensation of all Boning-Hussein's work? Because as he followed all the principles of Dr. Boning-Hussein, as well as he like all the literatures present or all the repertories present before his time, he liked plan construction, its principles. So, but there are some lacunas in construction of those repertories. So, all his work he condensed into a single volume. All his work combined by Dr. Boger. He added in it many new rubrics, new remedies, and then this new repertory VDCR is ready to publish. There is 140 remedy materia medica along with repertory. As the name itself suggests that there is materia medica, because in name only, what is the name of this repertory? It is Boni-Lucens characteristics, materia medica and repertory. So the name, in the name, by reading the name of this repertory, we can understand there is materia medica and repertory, both parts are there. So before repertory there is materia medica part, and in this materia medica part there are about 140 remedies. The most important, frequently used 140 remedies, they are given in materia medica. So this repertory is having two parts. The first part is characteristics of medicines or materia medica part, and the second part is repertory proper, and it was published in 1905. So this Boni-Lucens characteristic materia medica and repertory, this repertory is having two parts. First part is materia medica part or characteristics of medicine part, and the second part is repertory proper. In the first part, about 140 remedies are described in characteristics of medicine or materia medica part. In the second half of 19th century, why Dr. Boger he felt need to write down such index? Because though he was follower of Dr. Boni-Lucens, he can able to work with the help of Boni-Lucens, or work any case with the help of Boni-Lucens work. But why he felt need to write down his own index with reference to Boni-Lucens work, or by combining all Boni-Lucens work, why he write his new work? Because in the second half of 19th century, Boni-Lucens work was of great importance, but later when Kent's repertory came, it receded to the backstage and all his work was overlooked. As Dr. Boni-Lucens' work, it was very much useful when it was get published first time, the repertory of antisoric remedies. Then it was used in the clinic by Dr. Hahnemann himself, as well as Dr. Boni-Lucens, as well as the physician, the homeopaths who were present at that time. They were using uh, this repertory, or the repertories which are present by Dr. Boni-Lucens. They were used frequently in clinics, but after publishing Kent's repertory, it was the late period of publication of Kent repertory, and till Kent repertories get published, there were many medicines which are added to our materia medica. So the number of medicines that get increased, as well as the number of rubrics that were increased in Kent repertory, and also the way of construction, the principles, they are totally different. The Boni-Lucens repertory, it is based on grand generalization, it is based on complete symptom, and the Kent's repertory, it is exactly opposite, it is based on general symptoms, it is based on deductive logic. So, and also the it was the Boni-Hussein's work in this repertory. Many rubrics, they are misplaced, as we discussed it in the BTPB criticism, point of criticism of BTPB, that many rubrics they are misplaced, as well as in BTPB very less number of medicines they are included, very less number of rubrics are there. But in Kent repertory, number of rubrics, the way of arrangement, it was all easy for reference to the homeopaths. So they prefer the Kent repertory than Boni-Hussein repertory after publication of the Kent's repertory, so that Boni-Hussein's work, it receded to the backstage, and all his work, it was overlooked. But when Dr. Boger, he go through all the works of all the homeopaths before his time, then he liked the principles of Dr. Boni-Hussein. So finally, Boger brought it back to life by refining and enriching the fundamentals and recasting the structure and methodology. So as Dr. Boger, he was impressed by the principles of Dr. Boni-Hussein, and it was receded back, it was overlooked. So he gave uh, a new structure and methodology to Boni-Hussein's work, and he brought back all his principles in the form of BBCR. Is it clear? Yes? Is it clear? So which are the sources of BTPB? There are many sources. By referring all those sources, he write down his own repertory. The first and main source are all the works of Dr. Boni-Hussein. So Boni-Hussein's therapeutic pocketbook, repertory of antisoric, repertory of asorics, then repertory of sites of the body, repertory part of intermittent fever, repertory of whooping cough, and aphorisms of Hippocrates. So all these are the sources of BBCR, and from all these things, by referring all these things, he completed his repertory. So there are main 7 sources, that is BTPB, repertory of asorics, repertory of antisorics, sites of the body, then repertory part of intermittent fever, whooping cough, and aphorism of Hippocrates. So many times it was asked in oral as well as in 2-mark question, write down the sources of BBCR. It was asked, I think, before 2 years in for 2 marks, that is sources of BBCR. So these are 7 sources of BBCR. At least you should know, or you should remember 5 to 6 sources, so that you can get marks. Then first part of this repertory is Materia Medica part, and second part of this repertory is repertory proper. So we first deal with the Materia Medica part. In this Materia Medica, the 140 remedies, it deals with the characteristics of the 140 remedies. So in Materia Medica part, the remedies which are important with their important symptoms, it was given in this Materia Medica part, and he discussed in proper way about 140 medicines. The prominent symptoms in bold. The symptoms which are prominent, the symptoms which are PQRS, the symptoms which are characteristics of that remedy, it was written in bold letters. A section called concordances, which lists the relationship of 125 remedies. Okay, so in this repertory, in concordance section, there are 125 remedies. How many remedies are there in BTPB in concordance section? Yes. How many remedies are there in concordance section of BTPB? Sujata Menga.
Yes, ma'am.
How many remedies are there in concordance section of BTPB? As we discussed just now, in this repertory in BBCR, there are 125 remedies. How many
I'm
remedies?
126.
Anyone? How many remedies are there in BTPB in concordance section? Priyanka?
Ma'am, 141.
In concordance section, I ask about number of remedies in concordance section, not in repertory. In concordance section, how many remedies are there in BTPB? As in BBCR, there are 125 remedies. In BTPB, how much remedies are there?
220 remedies.
In concordance section, not in repertory.
21.
Yes, Adiba?
Ma'am, 121.
Very good. So in concordance section of BTPB, there are 121 remedies, and in BBCR, there are 125 remedies. Many times it was also asked, it is asked for 5 marks, 10 marks, as well as for 20 marks also. Give the difference between Kent repertory, BTPB and BBCR, or difference between BTPB, BBCR, or difference between Kent and BTPB. So you should know in that way also all these repertories, and these three repertories are very much important. 120 mark question is definitely included on